The robbers lay on the railroad tracks and deduced from the volume of the noise that they were on a train full of gold. Soon they arrived, so the robbers immediately set up a trap and evenly spread a large amount of lard on the two rails, then quickly hid in the woods and waited for the opportunity. However, the train, unaware of the situation, continued to move forward. When the wheels of the train came into contact with the lard, the friction instantly decreased, and the wheels kept slipping on the spot. While the train was temporarily unable to move forward, the robbers swarmed out of the woods. Before the driver could react, the robbers had already rushed to the front of the train and quickly controlled them. However, there was still some in the carriage behind, so the robbers took a highly poisonous hornet's nest from the woods, then quietly climbed onto the carriage and threw the hornet's nest into the vent. The guards inside were beaten and cried for out to fight back. Unexpectedly, they were killed by the robbers outside in an instant. They were so scared that they quickly closed the door. The robbers took the opportunity to separate the front of the car from the carriage and quickly drove away the carriage containing the gold. At this time, the guards inside the carriage had been killed by the wasps. Without the fighting power, they would probably lose their lives if they stayed any longer, so they opened the door and jumped out of the train to escape. After all the guards jumped out of the train, the robbers immediately lit torches and threw them into the train, using the thick smoke to drive away the wasps inside. At this time, the station master had already notified the FBI, and a large number of FBI were attacking the robbers along the railroad tracks. The robbers had to stop the train as soon as possible to take away the gold in the train. Unexpectedly, the brakes suddenly broke down. Because the train could not stop on the downhill section, it was getting faster and faster. The robbers in front saw it and immediately pulled out a lot of ropes and tied them firmly to the big trees on both sides of the railroad tracks, trying to use the ropes to stop the train. Not long after, the train was finally stopped after being buffered by hundreds of big trees. The robbers could not wait to rush up and steal the gold inside. Soon the FBI arrived at the scene, but the robbers had disappeared.